my friends! I see you today for a new video a little different from the others. I'll present a coloring challenge that will last a whole year. The original idea came from Sammie, from the channel Color and Chat with Sammie. And she made a coloring checklist challenge with 52 points to achieve at your own pace, when you want, in the next 12 months. I'll give you the link to my French translation and also the link to the English version by Sammie, so you can download and print it for your home. First, I'll present to you my new little assistant, Penelope. Penelope, you say hello? Penelope is my new little cat who came into my house and who no longer wanted to leave. I looked for a owner, but I didn't find him, so I kept her. Back on topic. So, the principle of the coloring checklist challenge is that you have a whole list of challenges that we will go through one by one, and I will give you lots of examples of what you could do, and the purpose for you is to use this list to inspire you to do your colorings. I made a French translation with small checkboxes. So it's easy for you when you achieve a challenge. You just tick the little square like I did here on the cover page. The goal is really to have fun. There is no pressure at all. So the challenge has already started. It starts here in April 2020. It runs until April 2021. So you don't have a whole year left, but in my opinion, still more than enough to have fun with this challenge. And Sammie created a hashtag called colouringchecklistchallenge. If you're on Instagram, when you complete one or more points of the list, you can use the hashtag colouringchecklistchallenge. You quote the points you filled in your coloring and you score the points. You will see at the end of the year how many points you have completed. Of course, you don't have to do them all. You can make only one per page or several per page. There is really no problem. It's just for fun. I really wanted to share this challenge with you because I found it so much fun that I wanted you all to know. Sammie says that digital drawing or PDF or coloring, everything is valid, of course. The goal is not to limit you, but to open doors to you. Let's start right away with the first page of this challenge. The first point is color a page and add an embellishment, washi tape, stickers, gems. These are only examples. Of course, you can choose something else as embellishment, for example, glitter or stickers or different things. Color a page with no shading, just straight coloring. Color a color by number page. I know that many of you practice coloring by number. There are, for example, the Disney classics. You see here I have volume 1. My son started coloring on it. There are also other mystery coloring pages. I don't practice mystery coloring anymore since I got my books from Johanna Basford, but I can show you one that I made in it. It's the eagle here. It's quite relaxing, just following the numbers. And thanks to Sammie, I think I will do one more this year. Color a page and include a stencil in your page on the image or on the background. So either you can use ready-made stencils that you find in stores, or I'll show you here in Enchanted Forest by Johanna Basford. I made a stencil background over there. I just cut 3 different shapes of leaves out of a small cardboard. And with soft pastels, I made this background with a stencil. I made a small video to show how I did. If you are interested, I will give you the link in the info box. 5. Color a page on toned paper. This is also something that I have often wanted to do. Color a page with a mermaid. There are many books that contains mermaid. Color a page using only pastels. It can be either pastel pencils, soft pastels, or oil pastels. Sammie points out that black and white pencils are always allowed for highlight and lowlights. Color a page with homes, inside decors or building. For example, in Forest Girl by Aeppol, there are a lot of inside decors. You can also find buildings in Hanna Karlzon's Daydreams, for example. We find this page very easily, so filling this point is really not difficult. Color a double page spread. I know that many of you are a little bit afraid of double page, and it's true that a double page takes a really long time. On the other hand, there is still something interesting. I'm going to show you one that I did here in Lost Ocean. What's interesting is that once you have chosen your color theme, just continue this theme on the page. So finally, you have to think less about a double page than about two single pages. Here is another double page that I made in Lost Ocean. I post tutorials about this page. I just have still to post the fishes tutorial and the background tutorial. Color a page following a tutorial. Using either a tutorial book, for example, the Book Colorist Special Effect, or an online tutorial, as there are a lot on my YouTube channel and on other YouTube channels. So here I'm going to show you a little example. For this page, I followed a tutorial by Olivier Audoran. It's a free tutorial that you can also follow on her YouTube channel. I'll give you the link in the info box. Color a page with a buddy, an online buddy or at home. Here, in Worlds Within Worlds, I'm doing a buddy coloring with my son. He colors much more faster than I do. So he had already made dinosaurs and planets, and I'm doing plants. So this is a buddy coloring with my son. Color a page that your partner or family member chooses. Color a picture based on a book, TV or film, such as The Wizard of Oz, Harry Potter, Jane Austen, Alice, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I can give you an example here with the book Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I haven't colored it in it yet, but this book will allow me to complete this point of the challenge if I feel like it. Color a page picked blindfolded. So this challenge is quite fun, I think. It's explained here. Flick the pages blindfolded in a chosen book and you must color the one you stopped on whilst your eyes are covered. Whatever that one you stopped on is, that's the one, no cheating. Color a postcard or a pocket-sized page. There are several books that are edited in miniature. For example, Johanna Basford has just released Secret Garden in pocketbook. There are also books like those of Hanna Karlzon or Johanna Basford, which has published in postcard. And here I can give you an example with Johanna Basford's daily calendar. Color a page from a book illustrated by a female artist. So there you are spoiled for choice. Johanna Basford, Hanna Karlzon, Aeppol, Maria Trolle, Wita Berman, Marcia Vandenberg, etc. Color a page from a book illustrated by a male artist. For example, obviously, Kerby Rosanes. The next point is color a feel. So either a book or an image that scares you, or it can be a book that intimidates you or looks scary in the picture like a horror picture, whatever your fear is. Color something that makes you immensely happy. This is really the most important point. If you were to do only one on all of Sammie's coloring list, I advise you to do this one. Color a page with food. It must be the main page feeder with more than, or at least, one half of the page being food-related illustration. Alors here I take a simple example. It's The World Under Glass by Wita Berman. You see here the two pages are food. You have a pineapple here. And if we take Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, there are also a few pages with food. Here we have a cake, but probably it's too small for the challenge. So I'll try to find you the buffet page that I haven't colored yet. 1 minute, I'm going to find it. Here it is. You see here, this is really the main pattern of the page. In size, it probably represents less than a half, but the rest are just decoration to highlight the buffet. So this is really a page that allows you to feel this point of the challenge. Color a wild animal. For example, in Magical Jungle, it's full of wild animals from beginning to the end. We have here a chameleon, an okapi, the toucan, the tiger. This is the kind of book you just have to flip through and you only come across wild animals. Here, for example, you have the parrot, the tiger, which is here. Here, the lemur. For this page, I follow the tutorial from Davlina Art, who always makes creation filled with bright colors. If you feel depressed, follow a tutorial from Davlina Art. Color a page with 5 colors only. White and black are always allowed in addition for highlight and low light. So then the next challenge, it's divided into 4 points. So it is worth for 4 challenges and not 1. Color these elements: Earth, water, fire or space, galaxy. Of course, you don't have to put all 4 on the same page. Color a mythical creature. You really have a very large choice. If I take, for example, Maria Trolle, Botanicum, you have a lot of pages with fairies. Here you can see 2 pages with fairies, and here you have a unicorn. In Enchanted Forest by Johanna Basford, also there are unicorns, dragon. If you color a mermaid, then you feel 2 points. Color a patterned page. For example, mandala, Zen pattern, a mosaic pattern, wallpaper page. You know, all those unwanted wallpaper pages that never get colored perfect. I'm not a big fan of patterned page because quickly enough I get bored. But I can still show you this one I made in Secret Garden. I made this rainbow very largely inspired by a tutorial from Sammie R. So we come now to the next page. I numbered the page and I printed them on grid paper. I find that it goes well with the check marks. It gives a little academic side which is not to displease me. Color in something that reminds you of your childhood. This is really personal, it's unique to everyone. Me, the book that most reminds me of my childhood is Forest Girl by Aeppol. I told you about it when I presented volume 2 to you. I was always outside watching the flowers, climbing the trees, playing with my dog. It's really the perfect book. I just have to color something in it and it automatically will remind me of my childhood. Color a page from one of your first 5 coloring books that got you into this hobby. So immerse yourself in the past, think of the 5 first books you bought. My very first one was Lost Ocean by Johanna Basford. And then I bought Enchanted Forest. Color a culture. So this is a little bit more complicated. In any case, I don't have the impression that I have that kind of page. Since I mostly have fantasy books or animal books, and coloring a culture, it's more like Indian culture or Aztec culture, for example. There are also some very beautiful portraits of desert women in some books. Well, for example, this is the kind you can achieve to make a culture page. Color a new to you artist. Color a page from your favorite book. Color a page from an abandoned book. I like this point. Let's go back to our cupboard a little and take the books back in which we haven't colored for a while. Color a household pet. For example, here in Hanna Karlzon Daydreams, there are a lot of cats. Color an unusual skin tone. For me, as I do not color skin tones, it can be white skin since I'm not used to coloring it. But if you are used to color white skins, well, you could practice coloring black skins or Asian skins. Color a page upside down. This is something I really never tried. Color a page using only one color. Obviously, only one color, you can use all the shades of this color. So it must be a monochrome, for example, a monochrome of blue, but you can go from light blue to dark blue and use black and white. Color a page with bugs. There are really many. Here I show you an example in World of Flowers. You have page with bugs, here with beetles. Bugs are fairly easy to find in several coloring books. Color a page by an artist beginning with the letter M. Sammie doesn't specify, so the choice is quite wide. It can be the name or the first name, for example, Maria Trolle, or here, Millie Marotta, we have 2 M. This is a second-hand book that I just bought. And if I color something in this book, I could say that I have colored a wild animal of an artist beginning with the letter M and who is new to me. Color a page that you divide in the middle into 2. Color both sides differently, one being in grayscale, the other being in color, so clearly you draw a line in the middle. Color a page with minimum of 2 people on the page. Usually in Disney books there are often 2 people. Here, for example, I'll take the Thomas Kinkade. It's quite easy to find. Here we can consider these are 2 people. You don't have to flip a lot of page to find 2 people on a page. Here, for example, it's minimum 2 people, so it can be obviously 3 without problem. And there, 2 pretty funny people. Of course, it's just an example. Color a title this book belongs to page. You have this type of page in almost every book. If I take Botanicum, here it's written here. Johanna Basford also makes page like this. You can find also them in Kerby Rosanes' book. This is quite a sophisticated page. Not something you do quickly. Hanna Karlzon too. So you see, you are spoiled for choice. Color a page with text on it. For example, Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, The Ink House, or a double page in Momo with poems or lyrics included. Ivy and the Inky Butterfly is the perfect example. You see here I created a small frame around the text following the tutorial of Jazz Funk. On practically all the pages there is text. Sometimes you have text on a page and the drawing on the other page, so you can do as you prefer. Here you have the text and the drawing is on the other page. Here the same, so you can use the drawing page to make a dark background, so you can still read the text. Color a page with water media only, so it can be watercolors or watercolor pencil. Color a page from the last book you purchased, the newest in your collection at the time of doing this particular point of your checklist. You take the last book you bought or you received. Color a heavily grayscale page. So for this point I have Dream World here by Carlon Douglas. You see it's very dark grayscale. But even if it's very dark, you can still add areas of light and make this page bright. Color a coloring book or magazine cover, for example, Coloring Heaven magazine. Color a bokeh background. So the bokeh effect is the blurring effect that we get when we blur a photo very hard. It makes little circles of light of different size. Here, for example, I will show you one. This is a bokeh background. For this one, I used a tutorial on Patreon, but Olivier Audran also did a bokeh background tutorial on YouTube. Color a page of blooms or flower. Of course, you have a lot of these in World of Flowers by Johanna Basford. You have flowers or bouquets on almost every page, but there are also many other examples, of course. Hanna Karlzon, Trolle, all these books contain a lot of flowers. Color, fashion or clothing. So it can be, for example, a portrait and you see the top of the clothes of the person. Color a page representing a season. Color a page from one of your largest size books, for example, Disney Retro, poster books or books larger than A4. I'm thinking in particular of artist editions. Color a set of wings, bugs, butterflies, fairies. Sammie points out that fairies, butterfly, bugs are just examples, of course. If you want to color the wings of a dragon, there is no problem. Here I give you another example in World of Flower. I added this fairy on the page. I could have checked the point with this fairy. And now that I show you this page, it makes me think that I also made a bokeh background on it. This is another example of bokeh background. So we slowly come to the end of the list. For those of us who have works in progress, obviously it's optional because not everybody has works in progress. Color a page you have in progress. Line this point if this one does not apply to you. I'm not going to cross it out because I have a large number of work in progress that I would like to finish this year. Here are some more explanations from Sammie. You can double up pages. Tick off more than one if you include more than one challenge in your page. For example, you have colored a page with a wild animal in a book by a male artist and added an embellishment. You have automatically covered and ticked off 3 points on your yearly challenge. Or you've buddied up with a page by an artist beginning with the letter M, which happens to have the element water on. You have chosen 5 colors as your palette and you're using watercolor pencils. That's 5 ticks on your checklist on one single page you are doing. Or you can choose to only do one challenge per page and really make this an impressive scavenger checklist. It's like a scavenger hunt, but we're challenging ourselves with the Coloring Checklist Challenge. Are you up for the challenge? Use the hashtag on Instagram and list the points you covered in your posted pictures. I will start immediately on my next coloring, which I will post on Instagram. You will already see the list of points that I will have filled in my coloring challenge of the year. Thank you very much for watching this video. Penelope and I wish you a wonderful day. And I'm also sending you a few pairs of plume, which is going very well. Thank you so much. See you soon. Happy coloring!